of coronavirus in Victoria. That is 177 new cases since we last updated you. 25 of those 177 are connected to contained outbreaks. 151 of those cases are under investigation by our dedicated public health team, and one is from hotel quarantine. We have, yesterday we had 22,943 tests. And again, I want to thank every one of those people and indeed every Victorian who in such unprecedented numbers is coming forward to get tested. As I've said so many times, but we'll keep saying because it really is a critical point, that's in some ways the most important contribution people can make. If you've got symptoms, even mild symptoms, come forward, get tested. There's more than 150 test sites open right across the entire state. That surveillance, that data, that information allows us to deal with the very clever enemy that we are up against, a virus that spreads rapidly, a virus that will defeat us if we don't have the best information and, of course, Victorians following the rules. To that end, can I again extend my profound gratitude, my thanks to every single Victorian who is doing the right thing. That's the vast majority of people across our city, across our suburbs, right across our state. It's a powerful contribution that you're making. I said yesterday, and I'll again make the point, our nurses, our doctors, our ambos, all of those clinical staff, we shouldn't see them as the front line in our war against this virus, our battle against this virus. They're the last line of defence, and we can't leave it to them treating patients in intensive care. They are not really, they ought to be seen and we should be grateful in every sense for the work that they do, but we've got to see ourselves, each of us, as the real front line in our fight against this virus. And the way we can make the best and most powerful contribution is to follow those rules, do the right thing, exercise good judgment, use common sense, and of course come forward and get tested even if you've got the mildest of symptoms. Our health workers are heroes. They do an amazing job. If we want to thank them, one of the ways we thank them is by acknowledging that it is us that is on the front line. We are there, and if we follow the rules, then we can play our part, a really powerful part in driving down these numbers, driving them down to a controlled and contained level, and then being able to move beyond the very difficult and challenging circumstances that we face at this time. With 22,943 tests being conducted yesterday, that takes our total test number to 1,148,357. That is an enormous amount of testing. That testing rate is among one of the highest per 100,000 anywhere in the world. And again, I'm very, very grateful to everybody who has come forward and got tested. Please keep coming forward to get tested if you have even the mildest symptoms. It lets us know where the problem is, how we can deal with it, how we can trace and provide the best public health response. We have 72 Victorians in hospital. 17 of those are receiving intensive care, and there are 1,612 active cases across the state. The key point, again, to emphasise is that, of course, driving in this morning, freeways, very, very light traffic. We're seeing lots of places that would normally be hosting large numbers of people. We're seeing very small numbers of people out and about. That says to me, plus not just the anecdotal, but the actual data that we get around mobility and movement, we are seeing people moderate their behaviour. They're changing their behaviour significantly. That's what being on the front line in our fight against this virus is all about. Everyone making a contribution for you, for your family, for your community, for every family and the entire state. If we all keep following those rules, then this strategy will work. We will bring this under control. We will be able to resume opening up. We'll get past this very difficult set of circumstances we face. To the vast majority of people who are doing the right thing, I again say thank you so very much. To those who aren't, Victoria Police, as I said yesterday, and I'll keep on saying it, Victoria Police, the last time they issued many more warnings than fines. They're not mucking about. The time for warnings is over. They'll always use good judgment, fair judgment. But if you are out there just breaking the rules and you're betting that you won't get caught, the odds are not good. You will get caught and you will be fined. So please, it doesn't have to come to that. It really doesn't. If everyone just plays their part, uses common sense and good judgment, if people, again, acknowledge that the front line of this virus fight is every individual, every family, every community. It's not good enough for us to just rely upon our doctors and nurses in hospitals to be the ultimate defence against this thing. We've got to stop it getting to that point. We've got to stop it getting to the point where we have thousands of people in hospital and hundreds of people needing a machine to breathe. I will also just make the point as well, we've seen tragedy obviously over these last 6 months. The world has seen tragedy as well. It's not just an illness of the frail-aged, not that that makes it any easier to deal with, but I have a message for every single Victorian. This has taken the life of otherwise healthy people of all age groups. The notion that this is simply something that will be tragic if you are very ill already and very old, that is simply not right. This can have catastrophic outcomes, tragic outcomes for people who are otherwise healthy and for people in any age group. On that basis, we all have a part to play to make sure that we're not just relying upon our nurses and doctors to get this job done. We all have to acknowledge this is a clever enemy. It is silent in many respects. So many people have this and have very moderate symptoms. It is so wildly infectious. We've all got to play our part. That's how we will get to the other side of this. That's how we will defeat this virus. The alternative is these numbers continue to grow, and, well, that is not a situation that we want to be in at any point. This lockdown will continue for as long as it needs to, but it need not be there for a moment longer than is absolutely necessary if everybody simply follows the rules and does the right thing. And again, thanks and praise and gratitude to everyone who is doing the right thing. That's the vast majority. And to those who aren't, well, police are out there in force. Can I just make reference to the fact that Pat McGorry from Origin is here today. You'll know that we launched a roughly $60 million mental health package some time ago. And Martin Foley and Pat will speak about the way we're using technology to support the best care, particularly for younger people who are experiencing a whole range of stress. There's a significant challenge, a mental health and wellbeing challenge wrapped up in all of these measures and the fight that we're in.